Great. Well, let's hear an excerpt from one of the plays. We thought we would start with a very DNA reunion by David Henry Hwang. And I thought I'd give you a bit of a synopsis. And then we'll read an excerpt. The playwrights will read an excerpt. Bob is annoyed with his parents, who keep bugging him to get a job. Luckily, Bob has finally found his real family. A DNA test shows that he comes from the same haplography as Cleopatra and Genghis Khan. Bob's illustrious ancestors pay him a visit and assure him that his lineage makes him worthy of royal treatment.
And I'm just going to set this up a little more. Yeah, we're sort of starting with the with the wackiest play of the bunch, so excuse us for that. But Jamil is Bob, and he's just a regular guy who's 31 and living at home, and he's taking this test, and he's being visited by Cleopatra, Genghis Khan, and Phil's playing a character who you'll discover as the show goes on.
And I am not an actor, by the way.
And neither am I.
All right. Well, I think we're all excited now.
That disclaimer was important.
Genghis, what's up?
Sorry I'm late.
The reunion has only just begun.
Genghis Khan, you know Cleopatra?
We meet at last.
Love your work.
But you are a legend. And we too have this noble warrior to thank for finally bringing us together.
What can I say? It's an accident of birth.
No, there are no accidents. Your relations, they are your destiny, the greatest blessing or your most hellish curse. Now my mother, she was my watchful angel. She kept me and all my brothers and sisters alive after we were cast out from our tribe, forced to live off the land gathering wild fruits and marmots.
Marmots disgust me.
Sort of like you, Bob, the time you ran out of gas on the I-90, yes?
Man, I don't mind telling you guys, I was scared.
Fear is good. It keeps us alive. I feared for my life every moment of my childhood, and that constant terror, living like a hunted animal, didn't begin to leave me until I murdered my half-brother Berthar. Wherever that castrated goat is now, may he be dying again.
I killed my mother with arsenic.
We were nomads. We lacked access to such chemistry.
When I killed myself, of course, I used an asp.
Effective, though painful.
Tell me about it.
I prefer a cleaner technique, simply breaking my enemies' backs.
Dude, hardcore.
Much better than boiling them alive, which is slow and wastes much water. Would you like to learn my method?
Hell yeah.
I can tell. You have my blood, your warrior spirit, piercing eyes, and that rock-hard stomach of a blood-sweating stallion.
Yeah, I got the wee.
Looking at you is like seeing my own reflection in the sacred waters of the Dalai Nor. Now, let us proceed to the back-breaking lessons.
Hanson will be so psyched about this.
Flying stars can achieve the same result.
Ninja dude, glad you made it, bro.
Forgive my tardiness. I travel in complete secrecy, which often takes longer.
You know Genghis, Cleo?
I am honored to join such a distinguished gathering of relations. No more so than you, of course, Bob.
Hey, we're all accomplished here.
Do you have a name?
Yes?
Babe, he's not gonna tell us. He's a ninja, dude.
How ignorant of me.
No prob, live and learn.
I was demonstrating to Bob my preferred method for killing enemies.
I couldn't help it over here.
Which is what ninjas do best, right?
At the risk of immodesty, I have witnessed my share of private moments.
Like geishas in the bath, right? Right?
At the risk of immodesty, whoa, what? Right. In my off hours.
Ooh, I think I'm becoming aroused again.
So, similar to the time you peeked up Victoria Tavedian's skirt.
That was sweet, just as she was bending over to grab the ketchup packs.
So you two know what it is like to be a ninja.
Major boner, dude. Knock on wood.
Oh, Bob, I am so seduced by your erotic talk.
Hey, why not? All for one for all.
We are already connected by ancestry. Why not join our flesh as well?
On the icy grasslands, it is considered good manners to share one's wives with visitors.
But me first.
They start to throat the eager Cleopatra.
End of scene.
I'm sorry, David. I apologize for my brother.
We're all sorry.
Okay, I know. Thank you, Shashir.
So I'm going to ask a collective question. What did you discover from the process of having your DNA tested? Any surprises?
Not much. Not a lot. I don't know that anybody found anything that was unexpected. I think we were all hoping that we were going to be related to somebody historically important or Oprah. But I think we all kind of found out stuff that we knew. But it started us thinking about the whole idea of where we had come from, and I think that was probably more important.
I mean, a lot of us, I mean, being an immigrant, I always feel like I'm thinking about where I come from, you know, where I've been and where I am now. But I think all of us, came to the conclusion that we were interested in the last 100, 200 years of our life, rather than 18,000 years ago, which is what the haplogroup tells us. So I think that's where there was a kind of a divide between what we expected and then what we got. And so, but then from there, we had a springboard to different ideas. I mean, I think it really didn't matter, because what came out was unique and different and interesting, I think.
When Jamil came up with the idea, called me up with the idea for the commission, I was like, oh, this is the coolest idea ever. Because, you know, as Asians, you're always being asked, oh, where are you from? And you go, Los Angeles. And they go, no, where are you really from? So I thought, oh, I'm going to take a DNA test. I'm going to really know where I'm from. And, you know, in the end, I think it may be just the place where the science is right now, and maybe what we could afford in terms of the depth of testing. But, you know, I was very disappointed by the results, and it kind of got me into feeling like it's actually rather lazy to try to put a Q-tip in your mouth and solve the riddle of identity. And so I kind of wrote a play lampooning that.
Right. I mean, it had to do with the level of the testing, because it took us back even more than 18,000 years. I mean, it looked at migratory patterns dating 60,000 years back. I know from my own family, 50,000 years back. And it was kind of interesting to try to envision these ancient women, you know, for me, because I could only look at my matrilineal side because my father's passed away, but to look at these ancient women traveling over these, through these countries, through these cultures, and eventually, for my family, ending up in Japan. But it also made me think about the fact that, and this kind of is related to what Shashir was saying, is that we live today in ethnicity light, which is that we only think about maybe our grandparents. I don't know how many people know the name of their great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather. And so as David was saying, or Shashir was saying, we really have to define who we are and think about our culture in terms of who we are today, and it doesn't go much deeper than that.
Were there any surprises?
For me, there were some surprises, because when I took the test, I realized there's an opportunity to put some of the results on a database and possibly hear from other people who I might be related to. And what happened was that I was hearing from a handful of people who ended up being Ashkenazi Jewish, from Jewish ancestry. So my parents are both from mainland China, so I was really surprised that I was hearing from people who were purportedly related to me through our DNA, who were Jewish.
It explains the, you know, the Jewish tradition of going for dim sum every Sunday.
Exactly. As we all know, that's how you find out where the best Chinese restaurants are. You have to ask a Jew. But so that was really surprising for me.
Didn't you mention that there was an African lineage as well?
Yes, that's the reason why I wrote the play that I did, which is called Finding Your Inner Zulu, because I was expecting to be related to the Peking man. Since both my parents were from the mainland China, they should, I was thinking that we would prove that all of the cradle of civilization would be from China, but it seems that we're
I think we're all connected to East Africa.
Yeah, we all
I mean,
come from
I mean,
which means that all of us are related.
Exactly.
30, 40.
So the Bible was correct.
1,000 years ago. Exactly.
Adam, Eve.